Without wasting any time, let's dig into it right away. So for today, the topic for the this demo is who handles your email, SMS, and DMs at 3 a.m. These days, customers or your leads don't wait till business hours before they DM you. People need information like yesterday. So they are going to email you, they are going to DM you, they are going to text you, whatever means is possible for them to reach out to you, they are going to do it. And it doesn't matter, right? They can do it at 3 a.m. Once they remember, they are going to do that. And who is going to respond to them? Your agent is going to respond to them at that time. And so that is the purpose of this demo. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric Baykes, and I run a digital marketing agency in the South Florida area. Between around the Fort Lauderdale and Miami metro areas. And we help small businesses with their repetitive tasks. We help small businesses to save money and also to make more money by introducing AI employees into their ecosystem and also helping them with workflow automation so that they don't have to do repetitive manual tasks, which will save them between 15 to 20 hours every week. So let's get into it right away. So for what is the problem here? The problem is that leads don't wait till business hours these days before they contact you. So leads are coming in at all hours and nobody is there to respond, right? If an email comes in at 3 a.m., who is going to respond? People don't email at 3 a.m., but text message, DMs, people texting from different geo positions, geolocations. Let's say, you know, somebody is in London and you serve a global audience, right? You want them to be able to reach you at any time. For me, I don't just serve American customers. I serve anybody who has a business and needs help. And so when they email me at their time zone, and I'm sleeping, I want my agent to be able to pick up and respond to them and answer the questions that they have. If they have to book an appointment, they can do that at their time zone. And also, just to set the stage, if this is your first time here, please understand that these demos are for beginners and intermediate go high level users. So if you are watching this, please understand that the way I run my class is that I give the tutorial for you to understand why we do certain things, and then I move on to the demo. So if you are watching this after the live demo and you don't want to wait, or you have experience with Go High Level and you just want to dig into the whole thing, then please fast forward to like maybe after 30 minutes of this video, and then you can get the value from it. You can fast forward it to where I start the demo, and we are going to have like chapters in the description, so you can go to the session that you want, so that you don't have to watch this if you already understand the problem and why we are trying and what we are trying to solve. So yes, so back again to the problem. The second problem is that slow response. These days, if you respond after 5 minutes, the lead gets colder and colder. So when they text you or they message you or they call you, they are called hot leads. If you wait after 5 minutes, the temperature goes down, right? So if you are responding to them in the morning when you wake up, they are gone. Your competitor has snatched them away. So you want to be able to respond to them very early, and fast is the name of the game right now. And you cannot monitor every channel. So you have Facebook, you are posting stuff on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. You also have a chat widget on your website. You have emails coming in, and all those channels are very powerful channels. But at the same time, who is there to babysit all these channels at the same time? You get 10 messages on Instagram, you get 5 on Facebook, and they are all happening simultaneously, concurrently. How are you going to deal with that? So this is one of the biggest problems that a lot of businesses have. Also, a lot of messages go unanswered. you go into your message box and then you see that there's been a message sitting there for like the last 3 days. Nobody has responded to you. You get back to them and the lead or the customer doesn't respond because they are gone. Somebody has taken care of them already. And if you have to hire somebody, you know how much it's going to cost. If you have somebody already in there, then this is going to be a compliment to make that person more efficient. But this is an AI agent that is going to be responding to all your messages instantly without any wait time 24/7. And the average lead goes cold after 5 minutes. Okay, so to solve this problem, we are going to use the GoHighLevel conversation AI agent. And this is what the agent does. It lives on your in your SMS, it lives in your web chat, on your website, and also your Instagram DMs. It can also respond to email, your Facebook DMs, and your WhatsApp. So everywhere, every stone is like covered. Every stone is not left untouched, right? All the channels are taken care of, and it responds to messages instantly, and it can qualify leads. And so if you one of your goals for this AI, or one of the reasons why you run your business, is to book appointments, then this AI is going to do that for you. It works 24/7 and all that kind of stuff. So let's move on. And here's what we are going to build today in the demo. We are going to create the agent, give it an identity, give it a name and its instructions, and the database is going to pull information from. And then the second part is we're going to connect the channel that we want it to communicate, right? So maybe we want it to be in our email, or we want it to be in our Facebook DM. We want it to be responding to SMS text messages, or maybe just sit in our WhatsApp app so that it can respond to all WhatsApp messages. And also we can set up qualifying questions so that it can ask questions and book appointments, so that if somebody is wasting their time or drifting them into a different conversation, its main goal is to book appointments or maybe schedule a site visit. Whatever your end goal is going to be able to do that for you. And then we are going to test it. Once we finish, we are going to test it and tweak it. One thing you have to know about software and AI agent and everything is that once you build it, it's not perfect out of the box. You still have to tweak it, train it, just like a child growing up, right? You need to do this a couple of times for it to really understand the business, because sometimes your prompt might have some mistakes or it might have some ambiguity. So once you start training it, it start bringing out all the issues and all the conflicts, and you fix all those things before you go live. And this is what we do for our clients. Once we finish building, we test it. We ask our clients to test it. That's where we put it through battle tested questions and try to deceive it and make up stories and all that kind of stuff. Once it's able to pass all the tests that we give it, then we are able to prove that it's okay to go live, and then it's able to start working right away. So that is what we are going to do. So as usual, as you know, this is where we get our hands dirty. We just don't talk about the theory, but we also show you how it is done. And for today, we are going to build an agent, a conversation agent for a plumber, right? Today I decided to go with a plumber. Last week we did it for a contractor, a local contractor. So today we are doing it for a plumber. So I've already put some things together so that we don't waste time here. And it's all about the prompting and how we set up the AI agent. So first of all, you want to be in your GoHighLevel account and select your account. I'm using my demo account. And first thing we want to do, we want to scroll all the way to AI agent. This is the home for all the agents that we have in GoHighLevel. There are other co-pilot agents in GoHighLevel in different locations, but if you are looking for the main agent, this is where you are going to find them. So we click on AI agents, and under AI agents, we have a couple of tabs here. I'm not going to go through that. If you want to understand what these things are, I have videos in the live session where you can see where I talk about all these AI agents, and you will have an in-depth explanation as to what each of these tabs do. But it's pretty straightforward. This is the Agent Studio where you build agents within GoHighLevel, but these agents are agents that go outside and do work for you or have interaction with your leads or your customers. So here we are going to be on Conversation AI. Today, it's not going to be voice or anything but Conversation AI. So we come to Conversation AI, and then this is the dashboard for Conversation AI. So this dashboard will show you how many people it has contacted, the action it has triggered, appointment it has booked, the time it has said. So you get a big picture of what this AI is doing in your business. And you can compare this with your human, your agent or your receptionist, and see, the difference between the amount of work that they are doing, how efficient they are, right? I'm not saying that you have to fire your receptionist or whoever books appointment and responds to text messages and emails, but you want to see what is happening, and you can move these people into other parts of your business. But that is up to you. It's not my call. So we want to be on the agent list. This is where we create all our agents. So I have a couple of agents here which I've demoed, but we are going to start from the scratch. We are going to create an agent for a plumber. So the first thing we need to do is to click the create bot. This is to give the bot a name and configuration. And here we have the prompt-based bot, and then we have the flow-based builder. Now, the flow-based builder is for advanced users. So if you know what you are doing, you can use this. This is more of a complex flow. I can have a demo to discuss the flow-based builder, but this is what you normally want to use, which is prompt-based, which is easy to set up. And as you are learning, this is what you want to be doing. So you click on this one, and then you have some templates here that you can use, right? It's a general Q&A agent, or is it an appointment booking agent? Is it a marketplace template? You can pick from a template, or you can start from the scratch. What we are going to do is an appointment booking. So this template already has everything baked in the back end. But if I use that, you're really not going to understand what we are doing. So I'm not going to use that. And if we use the general Q&A, it's just going to be more of an agent that just answers, like a customer service agent. That is not what you want to learn today. You want to learn, and if we can go to the marketplace and pick templates that people have built already, you can also check that out. I'm not going to waste time. I have a lot of videos that I've talked about this in depth, so you can go back to my live channel tab. You can go back to my channel, and under the live section, you can see all these videos that I go into details about this. But we want to start from the scratch. So we click here, and then we are going to give it a name. We are going to give it the instructions and all that kind of stuff. So here we want to pick the model that we want to use, right? Which ChatGPT model do we want to use? We want to use the latest version. Okay, so it depends on the tokens that they charge for every AI. I will go for the ChatGPT 5. You can go for the 4.1 if it's not really a complex agent that needs to really think and process like big information, big data, and all that kind of stuff. So we will stick with 4.1, which is great. You put the business name. So I'll put maybe Baykes Plumbing. This is a fictitious name just for demo purposes. And what we are going to do is to give it a name. So I've already prepared all this information so that we don't have to waste time on this. And I have all this stuff here. I can show it to you. And if you need this step-by-step guide, I can provide it to you. This is a short version of the step-by-step process, but I can give you an in-depth one. So you just follow the instructions step-by-step. And if you need this, you can always fill out the form. We have a link for this, so you can drop and we will send it to you. And also, if you want to sign up for GoHighLevel, we can help you and give you a snapshot of this agent as well as give you the instructions. So this is the name of the instructions, like the part one. We have the agent name. We are going to give it the business instructions. We are also going to give it a knowledge base, which is the database. We are also going to give it some qualifying questions. And then finally, we are going to test it live on this in this session. So this is what you have to really know. So first of all, I'm going to, the name is Jade. And so that is what we are going to do. I have some configurations here, which I'm going to go straight and do over here. So first of all, we have to give it a name. So it gives you a default name, but we give it Jade, and then maybe we want to qualify it so that when we have a list of different agents, we will know what each agent is doing. So I will add, let's say, Jade plumbing appointment setup, right? So once I see this, I know what it does, because you can have different agents that perform different things. One is setting appointments, one is booking site appointments, one is escalating calls to you, one is escalating calls to another member of the team, if you have to direct them to a specific department. So you can have the agent do so many things, and it adds up. Once you add more agents, you get confused as to what each one does. So it's better to give it a qualifier so that you know. So we've set up the name, and then now we want to give it the instructions, right? We want to give it instructions. So I have the instructions here already. Let me grab that and put it. So the business instructions, I copy this, all of this, and I paste it. This is more like what you tell it to do. So there are two things that are very important to every agent. One is the instructions, which tells them exactly what to do. And then the second part is the knowledge base or the database, which is the soul of the AI. So we are going to put the instructions here. And the instructions basically is just simple. We tell it to do what we want it to do. So the goal is to qualify them, collect key details, and book a service call or an appointment, right? Where is that? Let me go back. Okay. I think I deleted something by mistake, so let me paste again. All right. Okay. Okay. Able to see the full prompt. Let's see here. Let me save this for now, and let's see. All right, so let's see. Yes, so now I have everything that I want. It starts from the top. A potential customer is reaching out to a licensed plumbing company. They need an emergency, or they have an emergency, or looking to schedule a service, right? The goal is to qualify them, collect key details, and book a service call or free estimate, right? So this is the goal for the bot. And then the system, you are Jade, a virtual assistant. So that is the name, just in case somebody should ask them, what is your name? They can address themselves as Jade and all that kind of stuff. Here we have the task. Greet the customer, identify their plumbing issue, determine if it's an emergency or a scheduled job, collect their name and property address, then offer to book a service call or free estimate, right, on the calendar. Guidelines: use the plumber's first name. Once you have it, keep replies to. So all these things are things that you want this AI to do. and then you give them example of what they, so the user says, my kitchen sink is plugged. Jade will respond, hi there, sorry to hear that. Is this something that needs urgent attention today, or can we schedule for a visit later this week? So that is an example. So we have that instructions locked in. The next important thing that we want to put in is the knowledge base, which is the database. We want to make sure that this is pulling information from that database and using the instructions as a guide to give out or spit out the replies. So I'm going to copy the knowledge base, and I'm going to show you, if you've been here before, you know that you know how to build a knowledge base. We've done this so many times for every agent that we built. So this is so easy to do. And all that we are going to do is to go to knowledge base, right? There are a couple of actions here that we are going to go through. Not now, but I'm going to go through these actions, but I want to take care of the knowledge base first. So we go to the knowledge base. We don't have any knowledge base attached. So we want to create one, or we can pick one from the database, because you can have different knowledge bases, right? You can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knowledge bases, but you just want to make sure that that knowledge base is for the right agent. So here, we don't have any knowledge base in the database, or even if we have, this is a new agent that we are creating, and we don't want it to use the knowledge base we have in our repo. So we want to create a new one, which is going to take us to a new knowledge base page, which is on the AI agents dashboard page. So here we give it knowledge base for Baykes Plumbing, right? You can name it anything that you want, but let's use this for, yeah. So Baykes Plumbing, and for description you can put whatever, and then we create that knowledge base. Now this is going to take us to the AI agents dashboard page, where there's the knowledge base link. So here it brings us straight to the knowledge base. And now, as you can see, this is knowledge base for BayksCloud from, and the knowledge base can take different formats of information. So a web crawler is for website. This is where you add your website. So let's say if you have the business website, you copy it and paste it here. This is a fictitious plumbing, so I'm not going to put the website, but let's say if I had a website, I could put www.BayksPlumbing.com. And what this is going to do is it's going to pull out or scrape all the information on my website, and I can use exact URL. I can use all URLs within this part, or I can use all URLs in this domain. I usually go with this one, the last one, because what you want it to happen is, just in case you have subdomains, you have so many subdomains, it can capture all this information and use it to answer questions. So yeah, I'm going to select, let's say, all domains, all URLs in this domain, and then I'll select pages to train, right? So now this is going to start crawling, but remember, this is not a live website. So that is why I'm getting this error, right? It's not a real website. So we are not going to do that, but I wanted to show you how to do it. And then FAQs, you can add FAQs here, where, you do it one by one. I don't really like this feature, because you have to, if you have 20 FAQs, then you have to do them one by one. So usually what I do is I add it to the rich text, which is what I'm going to show you. So FAQs, if you have the time to input them one by one, the questions, then you can do that over here. But I think that is a lot of waste of time, and I think GoHighLevel should do something about this. This is some of the things that you can report, a feature that you can report to GoHighLevel, and they will fix it. You can add tables. So if you have tables and graphs and pie charts and all that, you think that is going to help the customer or the client, whatever. If you have information in images and all that, you can add them here. Rich text is where I like. This is where I really prefer to put my information because it's in the text format and it's very easy to pass, and also it's very easy for the AI to grab the information. Website, it takes time going through all the pages, combing through all the pages and scraping it, right? Rich text is really fast. So I'm going to do rich text, and maybe I would say that, okay, rich text knowledge base, right? By shortening. And so I have the information. All that I'm going to do is to paste it here. And this is the information. No, this is the FAQs, right? So this is the FAQs that I'm putting. So let's do this here. I copied the FAQs already because I told you that I don't like doing copying one FAQ and then the answer. I have to do it for all these FAQs, 10 different FAQs, right? So let me booking trigger once issue and address are confirmed, offer to book service course. So this is the FAQs information here. I will take this one out because this is just FAQs, and I will label that. So no, yeah, I have to leave this one here because I'm going to add the instructions, right? So I will just do this to separate that, and also go up here, and I will let the system know that this is the FAQs. So our FAQs, and then I will, so this is the question, yeah, FAQs, and then, um, all right. So let me do this, separate this. Yeah. So now I'm going to put my real knowledge base, which is what I want. All right. So this, right, qualifying person is best. And so here I can put, let's say, let's grab this, let's do this together. Um, so here, let me pull this here and then do this. Um, I will do this. Let me grab that knowledge base that I just did. Um, with that, so I'm grabbing that, and then let's save this for now. This is rich text. Let's save this for now. Uh, um, so let's rename this properly. Rich text knowledge base. Yeah, rich text. Oh, yeah, that comes right now. Let me grab that. So the knowledge base is usually the the soul, right? It's the soul of the business of the agent. So I'm gonna paste it here. And as you can see, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. So the business overview, the business name is a placeholder, but it's going to be replaced with Baykes Plumbing. And And I made it this way so that I can give this out, right? And then the second thing, you can format it if you want, but there's no need. The AI is going to know. And this is all the database information that it needs to work with alongside with the instructions. So we have everything here. All that we need to do, there are certain information that I don't have, so I couldn't provide, like the license number. Are you a licensed company? Yes, the license number, we don't have it. I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? As and then see Baykes, Plumbing, VP, right? So these are all the information that you can replace in the placeholder. We are not going to go through that, but every section gives you the information of what the AI will be doing, booking and scheduling. Customers can book through. So these are all the instructions that we've given it, right? Workmanship guarantee. This is instructions about the guarantee that we provide for our services. Frequently asked questions. I have that here. Now I put everything together so we can remove this one here. Otherwise, it's going to be double FAQs because what I generated before was, yeah. So now it's added everything together. So we will remove that so that we don't clutter it or overfeed it with information. Otherwise, it gets confused. So now we have frequently asked questions. So it's the same questions I was talking about. And then let's see if there's another session. Yes, what Jade should not do. The instructions, like things that it doesn't have to do at all. Jade should not never quote specific prices, confirm availability without checking my calendar, never diagnose plumbing problems or issues with certainty, or always recommend, right? Set aside, visit, never dismiss an emergency, always treat urgency seriously, never end a conversation without offering a step by booking a call or call back or further questions. So this is good for now. We can at least go and set up the rest of the stuff, and then we will be good to go. So, this is all that you need to know. You get the whole picture, right? You get the whole picture. You give it a lot of information from your website, your images that you have you think might be useful to your leads or customers. You give it any information that you think will help to gain people's trust for them to move forward with whatever offer that you have. So we are going to say now we have our knowledge base, and the knowledge base is being trained. If you have files, like I said, image files and all that kind of stuff, you can add them here. What I usually do is that I put all my information, the knowledge base, in a Google Drive so that it becomes a living document. Anytime I do changes, I don't come here to make the changes. I do the changes in my Google Drive so that I can also see the different versions and anything that I added, right, to my knowledge base. And that makes it a living document. Every time I need to update something, I just go in there and change it. And sometimes this can have a text limit. So if you have it in your Google Docs, it doesn't have that limit. And so you can pack it with a lot of valuable information. So now our knowledge base is good to go. Now, as I told you, we are on the dashboard again, and you can see the knowledge base is already a tab on the dashboard. And this knowledge base can be shared with so many different AIs, different AI agents, sorry. So we want to go back to our conversation agent and then go back and finish the configuration. We want to be on the agent list. And then the next thing we do, we go into this agent and then select to edit it. Now it looks as if this has 5 channels: that Facebook, chat, widget, SMS. So wherever a message comes from, is going to hit it, is going to take care of it, right? So we come here and then we come back into it to add some actions, right? We want to make sure that we are adding all the actions. So let's see what knowledge base we have. It should be here. Well, we created the knowledge base, so now we have to add it. So we come to the drop down and then we find the knowledge base. We add it. Now we are good. The knowledge base is good. We have our instructions. The next thing is we want to set up our actions. The main goal of this part is to book an appointment. So this is something that we want to do. Now, if we book the appointment, maybe we want to add them to a workflow, which is going to inform the lead that, hey, we booked your appointment, and then we send them appointment reminders like 24 hours before, 30 minutes before, 1 hour before, whatever you want to do with that workflow. You can also add a trigger, an action where this workflow is going to notify you and also notify a member of the team, even assign a task to a member of the team. You can do all this automated so that you don't have to lift a finger to be babysitting appointment. All this thing can be automated 100% hands off, and it happens whilst you are sleeping or playing golf, whatever you want to do. The contact info, you want to add an action that is to grab the contact info. What do you want to do to stop the bot from responding? Maybe if that person books an appointment, you don't want to continue engaging so that it wastes your credit. So there are so many things you can do. You can also hand over to a human being once the appointment is booked. Maybe you want somebody to verify, a human being to verify once you get the appointment, so that you call the person or the lead to confirm that, hey, we just received your appointment and I just want you to know that, hey, we are going to be coming to see you and all that. And it makes that lead feels important because they know that, oh, these people are so smart, they are fast, right? I just booked an appointment and somebody's reaching out to me and all that kind of stuff. You can also transfer to another bot. So let's say this agent books that call, you want to maybe transfer it to your voice agent, right? Your voice AI to make that call I just told you about. Like, instead of you calling yourself, you can hand over to another agent, a bot to call, to make sure that this person actually booked the call and it wasn't a bot that booked the call, but they actually want this to come. So that is like double confirmation. And auto follow up. You want to auto follow up with them. So there are so many things you can do, but we are very interested in the appointment scheduling. And here you can have 1, 2, 3, 10 different calendars, right? One for you, 2 for your employees, everybody in your organization. GoHighLevel gives you that flexibility where any member of your team can have their own calendar, or you can select a multi-calendar where this is going to be booked on each member's calendar. We are using a single calendar. So here we just have to click the demo. We click the calendar and then we select the calendar that we want. In this situation, we are looking for the demo plumbing site appointment. So we select that, and then there's nothing else we have to do over here. We just have to proceed. And then a couple of things that it's asking us we want to do, right? So don't book the appointment, only send the booking link. Here, sometimes if somebody agrees to book an appointment, maybe you just want to text them the booking appointment so they can select their own dates, right? But I don't like that because people sometimes will never book, or they forget and they move on. So I don't select this option unless, of course, there is no space on my calendar and everywhere is booked. And that is when maybe I give it instruction that if you are not able to book for any reason, for any technical reason, then you can send them an SMS, ask them for a number to text them the link so that they can book the appointment themselves. Pause the bot response after booking. You can select this option. Once they book it, you don't want the bot to be responding. So you can select this if you want. Trigger a workflow. So these are all the actions that I showed you. You have them here after this action has taken place. So what do you want to do? We are not going to go into the details of all this granular stuff, right? But let's assume that we have a workflow that gives reminders and all that kind of stuff. Then we want to trigger this workflow, and then we come here and then we select that workflow. So like demo email sequence or evergreen newsletter. Maybe once they book an appointment, we always want to add them to our newsletter sequence. So here we add that, right? This is just for demo purposes. Transfer employee to post appointment booking, right? So there's so much you can do, and also allow the bot to cancel appointment. Always do this because people can set up appointment, they have emergency the next day or something comes up and they cannot make the appointment. If they don't have that option to change it, then what is going to happen is that they receive that email, they receive that appointment, and they cannot make it. They cannot go back into the email and cancel the appointment. So allow them to be able to cancel and reschedule. And then once we finish that, everything looks great. And what we are going to do is to just save this. So that is the action that we've saved. We have a knowledge base. Now the channel here is very, very important. Where do we want this bot to live, right? That is where we have the SMS, which is text message, Instagram, DM, Facebook DM, web chat. This is a widget that you put on your website so that it texts. It's the same, it's similar to this one. Live chat is where you go in there. It's just the same code that you embed on your website and it chats with it like, regular chat back and forth, chatbot, right? That is what we call the chatbot. And then WhatsApp, and then also even in our emails, right? You can add that to it. So you have to be careful when you are selecting these channels, because if you have another bot and you selected all these channels, what is going to happen is that both of them will be firing at the same time. And I'm going to show you how we do this. So maybe here we just want to do maybe email and SMS, right? We don't want to deal with anybody from Facebook. So we turn Facebook off, we turn Instagram off, even web chat, we want to turn it off, because if we do web chat and live chat, I have to go to a website and embed the code for you to see. That is beyond the scope of this demo. The demo we did last week, we did that. So you can go back to last week's demo on the voice AI setup and you will see how we select our channels. So for this demo, we are just going to have SMS and email. So anything that hits our email and anything that hits our SMS, we will be able to respond. So let's assume that I do a cold email outreach and then somebody contacts me back or responds to my email. What is going to happen is that this Jade agent, this Jade conversation AI is going to pick up the email, read the email, and see if there is any potential or opportunity for it to be able to schedule the appointment. So if the customer or the lead is interested in our service and has a problem or something like that, is going to engage it and try to book an appointment. Same thing with SMS. So we just pick these two channels so we don't have to go and do anything crazy. And then we are going to save this. Wait, and then the timing and pacing, how do we want to time it? When somebody texts, how long do you want it to take to respond? Once you text somebody, SMS somebody, it takes a couple of times. You see that person is typing. So how long do you want to do it? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, maybe 1 second. You don't want to waste time, or you can use 2 seconds. It's fine. How many maximum, but how many back and forth maximum conversations you want to have? 75 is the default. You can do 50, you can do 100. You don't want this to be too high, because every time that conversation is going on, it's taking AI credit, but it's very, very cheap, right? But I would think that 75 is ideal. I don't normally touch this. And also there are a couple of settings that you can do here. Send back to sleep when I send a manual message. So when you intervene, let's say you see your CRM, you get a notification, you get an email, and then you don't want the bot to continue because you are taking over, then, I recommend that you turn this on. And then what webflow message, what is it going to send to you, those kind of things. And then reactivate bot after 2 hours, once they book an appointment, or once you take over, how long do you want the bot to be inactive before resuming? Maybe you want to do 24 hours, before, right? So the whole day, the bot is not going to respond to the same person again because there was a human intervention. And after 24 hours, then it will be able to really get into the equation. Guys, if this is giving you some value, please drop some threads in the chat. Let me know what I'm doing, whether this is giving you some value. This is something that you can apply in your business right away, because AI agents, AI employees, it's the future. And so let me know how you are going to use this in your business. Please put some comments and like this demo, like this video if it's valuable to you, as it helps us. And so let me check, since I'm not able to read your text, let me check if I have any message on my SMS from Sandrine. So everything looks great right now. But yes, so we have set up this, and the next thing we want to look into is the agent response behavior, enable response style, right? You want to go into this, it's balance. So, you know, you don't want to do too much. Do you want to interpret, or you want your bot to be able to see images and to read images, even voice and all that? Maybe somebody is driving, they don't want to be texting, they want to be making a voice note, you know, so you can activate all this. I'm not going to do that, but you know where it is. And then summary settings, you know, you want this to be sent to you to your email after the conversation is over. How long do you want to wait? Maybe you wait after 15 minutes when there's no conversation. Then you can send that transcript to your email so that you can see what's happened between them. And then you can save the conversation to a custom field. You can trigger a workflow, same thing like the actions we talked about, receive email notification about every conversation. If your practice is small and you are getting a few emails here and there, then I recommend this. Otherwise, you are going to be flooded with emails. So know this about, yeah, beware of this. So now we've set everything up, our bot is ready to roll, so we are going to save this. Now the next thing we want to do is to make sure now this agent is live and ready to go, right? It's ready to go, and the only thing we need to do is to set it as the primary bot, if that is what we are going to do. So there's one more step that we have to do, and this will be okay. We will be done with this. Now here we want to test the bot, right? So I have some questions I put together, and also I wish I could see your chat so that you could give me some questions that I could ask this bot, so that we know if it's working or not. So first of all, I'm going to text it and see what it's going to do. So let's, yeah, and this is where you test it, and if the responses are not what you like, you correct it. And like I said, this is a living document. It's going to make mistakes from the beginning, but you have to tweak it, and it keeps on learning and learning. Within maybe a couple of tests, maybe about 15 to 20, you know, from my experience, after you correct it about 15 times, you get the sweet spot. You get it to be doing everything. So let's say hi, and let's see what it's going to say. So the AI agent is talking right now. This is the test screen. And so, hello, how can I help you with your plumbing needs today? Are you experiencing an emergency or looking to schedule a service? And so here, I want to give a feedback to the AI that this was correct. And then I will go ahead and do this. I will type in my second question. And then, you know, hi, my kitchen sink has been draining slowly for a week. Can someone come and look? And he says, thanks for letting me know. Is this something that needs urgent attention today, or can we schedule a visit for later this week? May I also have your name and the property address to get started, right? So this is also great, right? Maybe I don't like this. Maybe I wanted to break this into two. This is where I will give it thumbs down, and then I will update that in the knowledge base, or educate it in the knowledge base. We are not going to do that because this is right. So I will say, Yeah, this is very urgent. And so it asks me two, three questions. Usually you want your AI to be asking one question at a time, not to confuse people, right? So these are the things that when you test, you can say that, oh, I don't want you to be answering everything, so you'll be making notes and addressing all these things, right? So thank you for letting me know this is urgent. Can you please provide your name and the property address and dispatch? We can send a dispatch plumber to you as soon as possible. This is great. What I can say is that let me see if I can trick it, and see if it's going to do that for me. Uh, so first of all, my address is 1 Main Street, Miami, 33290, right? And let's see what it's going to say, because I didn't provide my first name. I didn't provide my name. So let's see what it's going to do. So let's go with this. Okay. So I gave it a wrong address, right? But let's see. Thank you. May I have your name, please? Once I have that, I will check our earliest availability slot and get you. So I'm gonna give it a name. I will say that my name is Testa. All right. So let's see what we will get from here. All right. Thank you, Testa. We have urgent availability Wednesday, July 29th. So it's checked my calendar and seen all this date, right? This is not polished yet. Usually I'll only give two windows. You don't want to give a lot of information. So all these things will pop up because you don't remember everything when you are writing the prompt, especially when we are doing this demo. But if I was building, I usually have a structured way of putting things together, but still things are going to come up that you need to refine. So I would tell my agent, like, let's say, for instance, if I flag this, then I'm going to tell it the information that I want it to do, right? And then I would select that knowledge base and say, hey, this is wrong. This is not right. Select this knowledge base and use it. Or I will go and make those changes in that knowledge base, and then I will select the knowledge base again, and then I will train it. For this one, we are not going to do that because this is just a demo, but I've shown you how to do it. So I will give it, you cannot do it twice. And you can also use this to really help refine the response, right? The AI response, you can use this to help refine that. So like the prompt and the intent and all those kind of stuff. This is where it got all this information from. And you can check the chat history and what have you. So there's so much you can do with the testing. And then let's put our last question, and then we can move on to the next thing. All right. I'm so sorry, Tester. This sounds urgent. We have immediate availability. So you get a point. I told it that based on the instructions, never ignore emergencies. So this was just a test to see if the agent was paying attention to the instructions. I have a burst pipe under my bathroom sink. Water is everywhere. I need someone now. And it's saying that, yeah, I understand. I understand. Right. So anyway, give me 1 second. Hold on. So this is good. Um, all right. Let's see here. All right, let me see because I've been blocking that part. So let me move this to the left hand side so that you can see what I'm doing. So yes, here I kind of added another question instead of selecting the date and time, and it says that sorry, this is an emergency. We need to go ahead. So let's see. Let me select today's time. I would say that give me 1:30 p.m. today. So let's see. And let's see what it's going to do. Jade is going to do. So yes, you are all set, right? A plumber will arrive at your address today at 1:30 p.m. to handle your first pipe, whatever. Now, we didn't set up notifications. We didn't set up workflows to remind us and also to set up information to this client and all that. This is where we do all these actions so you can have an action where you say that set up a workflow, trigger a workflow. And so what this workflow would do, for instance, the workflow is going to, you select that workflow. Let's assume for training purposes, let's assume that this is an email that is going to send them the appointment information and all that kind of stuff. And also, if you watched, there's something that I didn't do, and I wish that you could chat and tell me what you think. But we didn't ask for the email address, right? So these are the things that happens, and I intentionally did this because once you are doing live demos, you want people to realize what can actually happen in real time, in real life when you are doing this. Theory is always theory, but when you hit the ground running, that is where you fall into a lot of real time experiences which are not discussed in the theory because everybody's situation is going to be unique, right? So here we didn't provide the email. And so how is this bot going to send the email confirmation and also the text message confirmation and even reminders, right? So this is where you go back to the bot and say that, hey, we forgot to add an email. And then I can say that, hey, you didn't take an email address, so add that email address. I will go into the knowledge base and then I will update it with the email information. And then I will give it instruction that always take the information, the first name, the second name, or the first name, the address, and email address. These three are non-negotiable. These are the things that you want to be telling or putting into your knowledge base and instructions once you start testing it. You can think that, oh, I've got this nailed down, but when you start testing, you are going to see all the issues that will pop up. So we are done with the bot. The bot, for now, for demo purposes, this bot is live and great. It's able to book an appointment. So let's go and see if it was able to book the appointment, if the calendar was configured properly. This demo is not for calendar, but it's for just the AI agent. So hopefully, if we did everything right and we have a good calendar, remember this is just a demo account. And so we hope that we have a good calendar. Here, you can see the status. The status is off. So we want to turn it on, right? We want to make sure that the bot is on. Otherwise, it's not going to respond to anybody. But once you are setting it up, you want to make sure that you finish everything before you turn it on. So if we go back here and then we go to, so here, time and response actions. This this is good. All right. Sets as a primary. And then there's one more settings that we need to do. Let's see here. To direct flow. So let's go back here. Now let's see. All right. Okay, so looks like move things a little bit around. Let's see. There, we need to ask it how to. All right. Channel. Anyway, let's go and do the channel first, and then we'll come back and turn this on once we are done with it. So for the channels, we want to go to sites. We want to go to sites because this is where you can grab or you can create all your widgets. So we come to sites, and what we want to do is to go to chat widgets, right? Here is where you create your widgets for all your platforms. So here is where you decide whether you want it to go to SMS, email, chat. This is what we want, right? So we want to select this one, and then we are going to name it. Um, we are going to name it Jade. Uh, Jade. I don't know. It doesn't like once Jade. Jade. Plumber. I always does this funny thing. I don't know why it does that, but every time you name it, it's all right. So Jade Plumber. Better to really put the name and then come back and paste it. So Jade Plumber. Jade Plumber. And then we will save this, right? So now this is where you create that agent, which you can use on your website. You can use it in your on your website so that when people go to your website, they will see this widget over there and grab it. So you come here to get the code. Now remember, we are doing this for only SMS and also for emails. So we don't need to do this. But if you have to put this code on your website or you have to put it somewhere, then you come here and you copy this and go use it, paste it in your website and use it. And you can configure all the appearance. You know, you can change the buttons, how you want it to be like. You know, WhatsApp, you can use the WhatsApp, you can change the colors. So there's a lot of customizations you can do here and all that, but this is not what we are doing today. But I just wanted to show you how this is done if you are going to use the code on your website, and then the chat window, what the message will say, the kind of information you want to pull, and then the messaging, all these things can be configured in the backend under widgets. And then once you have that, you save it. So this will be the channel that Jade will be responding to, right? You will have a live chat. This is something different. So, this is something different for a different agent, all that kind of stuff. You can have a Facebook widget. Remember, you can select a single widget for a single channel for one particular AI agent. So for this agent, we have two channels. It's handling two channels, and that is within the platform. So we don't have to copy any code and take it out there. So let's go back to our AI agent and make sure that we get this guy on um, conversation AI, and then we've set it up as the and then the next thing we have to do is to turn it on. Now, sell market, open, duplicate, edit. So let's edit. And then the responses, it's supposed to be a responses. The responses have to be automated. Yeah, so let's see here. Enable response balance, images, settings, inactivity, trigger workflow, set a custom field. Um, no, no business name. So I'm not sure why this thing has disappeared, but this is something that will turn the but. Okay, yes, channel. No, let's see, suggestive. Yes, so that switch, right? They move things around a little bit. So here is where you turn it on and off. So the channel right now is off, right? So nobody can see it. Now, if you turn this one on, you can make it manual, which is suggestive, or you can make it automated. We are using AI, so we want it to be automated. So we're going to select, instead of suggestive, we are going to select autopilot. So that means that we don't have to touch it. If you select suggestive, it will suggest it for you, and then you have to come in and ask it to send it. What's the point, right? It defeats the purpose of the automation or making the AI work for you. So we want to put it at autopilot so that it sends messages back and forth without human intervention. So we save that, and now our bot is active. So yeah, that is how you turn your agent on. Before, it was just somewhere around that you can turn it on and off right in front of you here. So GoHighLevel is always updating stuff. They're changing things all the time. So this happens sometimes and you get blindsided, which is not fun. So let me move this guy. Let me move it back to where it belongs. Okay. All right. So, guys, this is how you set up an agent, conversation AI agent that will be able to handle anything in your business as far as texting is concerned, email is concerned, Facebook DMs, and all that. So, if somebody messages you at 3 a.m., you are rest assured that you have an agent who is taking care of this lead or this customer. If you run a business that deals with a lot of customer service issues, this is something that is non-negotiable. It's a no-brainer. You need to have this to take care of your customers, and your customers are going to love you because you are providing valuable services to them. You are answering their questions, you are answering their issues, you are escalating this to members of the team, and you are taking care of them. That is what keeps high retention of your customers. So guys, do not sleep on this. So if this was valuable to you, please, on a scale of 1 to 10, let me know, 10 being very good and 1 being Eric, you suck. All right. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat section, how I'm doing. If this is valuable to you, let me know. So let's move on and close up. So this is what we did today. Today, for the live demo, what we did was we set up an agent. We named it. The name of the agent is Jade. And the second thing that we did was to connect it to the channels that we want. We assigned SMS and email to it. And also we created the knowledge base, which is the database for this agent. We also showed you different ways of how to add how to add knowledge base or the database, right? You can add images, you can add anything that you can. And then we also gave it instructions for it to follow. And we had some gaps in there, and all these gaps were intentional for you to pay attention to what you are doing. So it's not just about watching me do this and going and running away with it. I want you to be thinking about different scenarios. In this case, we didn't provide an email, so there's no way we are going to get an email. And email notification, we didn't connect it to any workflow. So these are the things that we want you to be aware of. And once you are setting these things up, you have to be thinking about them. And then we tested this to see how it responds. The testing went well. I will give it maybe 80 out of 100% because it didn't ask for the email. And that is not the AI's fault, but it's our prompt, right? So I have to go back and then update my knowledge base and the instructions. Every time you update the knowledge base, you must also update. Sometimes you must also update the instructions to complement that, because you can put all the information in there, and if you don't add that instructions, it's not going to go beyond this disregard your instructions. So you also want to update your knowledge, your instructions as well. So that is what we've done so far. When we tested, we booked an appointment. So like I said, let me go and check the calendar if it was able to book the appointment for today at 1 p.m. Okay, so that is what we did. And if you don't see the appointment, then it means we don't have a good calendar connected. And so we did here, July 29th, it booked me as Eric Johnson because it has my information in there. It booked me as Eric Johnson. Today is the 29th. And then let's go. So here, this is the appointment view up can come in appointment. This is confirmed. So this is the appointment that the AI scheduled, right? 26. And why can't I want to see this part of the, um, appointment. So calendar view and then appointment. And my calendar is not connected. If my calendar, my Google Calendar was connected to this demo account, then this would have popped up here 29th, and the time the calendar would have shown that the appointment is here. So probably I need to connect my calendar, my real calendar, so that I can see that. I don't want to do that because it exposes other sensitive information on my calendar. So that is why I tried not to integrate it, but probably I will have to do that so that you can see. But if we go to the appointment view, you can see that, this was booked for this particular person, and a lot of information, is giving it Eric Johnson, and it's all because this is a demo account and it hasn't been set up properly. And you can see that the tag, I added a workflow tag, so it kind of, so let's see here. So this 11:40, let's see, appointment details. So here is the appointment that he booked, right? The agent, the location, plumbing website, attendees, which means, me. It didn't have all the information, but you get the whole drift, right? You get the whole deal. So this is how it's set up. It was able to book the appointment, but it's not sending emails because we didn't ask it to do that. So the AI, is smart, but it's also going to take instructions from you, and it doesn't know everything. You have to feed it with all the information, right? So that is that we are able to book an appointment and schedule an emergency appointment for a team member to go and help this client. So that is that. It was a successful. Agent is live right now. We can use it. It can answer any question. So guys, if this is something that you want to implement in your business, we will be able to help you implement this in your business. We can also try GoHighLevel for 14 days, and GoHighLevel, we can give you the snapshot of all the AI agents that we have. This conversation AI we just built, we can give you the snapshot so that you can just customize it for your business. You can connect all your channels to it, and it qualifies your leads and book them automatically. And also, if you have the GoHighLevel account, you can get access to all these AI agents, the voice AI agent, which is the 24/7 AI receptionist. You can get the content AI for your social media automation. You can get a review AI agent that responds to your reviews. And also, if you're building funnels and websites and doing email campaigns, we have AI agents for that. We specialize in AI workforce and workflow automation. So we save you a lot of money by um, killing all the repetitive tasks by automating them, saving you 15 to 20 hours every week, and also installing AI agents in your uh, business so that you can save a lot of time and make more money. So if you are interested in testing GoHighLevel, we have the link in the description, in the comment section, and we are also going to share it in the chat, and you can test it out. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know. I'll be happy to help you. We also have a free 30-minute consultation to help you audit your business and see the blind spot and give you some recommendation as to what you are, how much money you are leaving on the table, and also to save you money on the tools that you subscribe to, because GoHighLevel has over 30 plus different tools in there. They all sit under one roof, and it will save you a lot of money if you can use GoHighLevel. So this is the tool that I use. I recommend it to all my clients. All my clients are using GoHighLevel. It's a no-brainer. Who doesn't want to save money, right? It's easier to save money than to make money. So guys, I hope this was valuable to you. Give me some likes on the video if this was valuable to you, and please subscribe to this channel if you are not a member yet, so that you can get notifications of this valuable business videos to help you scale your business and to make your business better, bring in more clients. Also comment in the comment section. I read every comment, and let me know what you are doing and what kind of help you need. What kind of videos do you want to see in future? And also share this with a business owner so that they will see what we are doing here and probably, get some help. We have a lot of resources on this channel that can benefit them. It's a lot of free information. You have to pay thousands of dollars just to get, right? There's no free lunch anywhere, but there's free lunch on this website. When you come, on this YouTube channel, when you come here, you are going to find a lot of valuable stuff. There's no gatekeeping. I share everything I do in my business. Those of you who know have seen that I always share my business account, even in some demos. So there's nothing to hide. Everything is transparent, and I'm here to help you grow the business. So let's team up and do great things together. Thank you very much for your time. And